A very good evening to all of you, dear Bhantes, Samneri, and everybody. So we've been discussing a sutta called PATTAKAMMA, Anguttara Nikaya 4.61. Now let me ask you again, what does Buddha talk about in this sutta at the beginning? The Buddha says this sutta is exclusively for lay people. Now we make that difference. Normally teachers, others, they discuss a sutta. It is very rare to see that they separate out monks, nuns sutta and then the lay people's one. It's not a blame, I mean, we don't see it. So this sutta is exclusively for the lay people. And it talks about the lay people's wisdom. It's not that main wisdom, lofty one. What is the kind of the lay people wisdom given by the Buddha? And many other things. So how does the Buddha start this sutta? Can anybody who has been attending this sutta class share with us? Others have no excuse, huh? If you make, they are going to be lame excuses. Buddha first deals with 4 wishes every lay person may have. What are they? The first wish, may wealth come to me righteously. Right? It is very difficult and hard to get the wealth righteously. Right? Wealth is there, but it does not come to us mostly righteously, because if you go to the old narrative, hardworking might not be enough in today's world. You might be smart. Some people want to scam. They want to cheat on others, right? So may wealth, which has money, maybe other things as well, lot of things, come to me righteously, in good ways. Second wish, now this is kind of a linear process, like gradual. It's gradual. So having accumulated wealth righteously, may a good reputation come to me and to my teachers, my family and the beloved ones and all them. Good reputation, that means publicity. So that means it's a normal thing, it's not a bad thing. Everybody, we have our own ways of thinking, but there should be a certain moderation in that thought. So may good reputation come to me and to my beloved ones. And then having acquired wealth righteously, and then having gained reputation, good reputation. There are people who are notorious. They have a bad reputation, right? In this society, they are politically notorious, religiously notorious, socially notorious, but here, good reputation. You are a good person, kind person, helpful person, right? That kind of, maybe socially, spiritually, and influential person, right? Maybe a being who is a blessing to this whole universe, right? So that is the second wish. The third wish, now you have the money, wealth, you have reputation, now what do you want? Long life. Long life. You want to live longer. Buddha is looking at the quality of the long life. What is the quality of the long life? You may spend like 90 years, lifetime, but you are so sick for the whole time. There's no quality in that longevity, right? Sometimes you live probably 30, 40, 50 years, but you are in super good health, right? So, I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to die early, but a life, a long life with good health is a blessing. So, that is what the Buddha means here. Then the last wish. Now you have wealth righteously gained, and then you have good reputation gained in the proper way. This good reputation was not earned by paying money. Yeah? I mean, today's world, people are asking to review. They are paid. You review our context. You review our Yelp review. You make a review on Google, right? I have seen a couple of people doing like so fast, review. They are being paid. But there are good people who are reviewing in a good way. When they get a good service, they review in a good way. It's a good thing because then employer will promote them, That's mudita. Sometimes when you go to a restaurant, you see there's someone who is serving well, really, really kind, really concerned. You haven't met somebody like that. So when you come back home, you remember who's that person, and you're going to write a very nice review. This person will be promoted. It's a good thing, mudita. So we have to find out ways how to practice mudita. And then finally, now long life, and then now everybody knows that they are going to die one day. What is happening to us after the death? That is a big question, right? It's a big question, right? Because of that big question, a lot of people are working hard in understanding what is next. So then, want to be reborn in a better place, in a better destination. So how many destinations are there after the death? Choiceless choices. Choiceless choices. Because we cannot make a choice, right? How many places are there for us to be reborn? 31 realms, places, right? 31. And how do we break them into? 4 hells, human realm. It's not the human world, human realm. There may be humans elsewhere, right? And then 6 heavens, and then 16 Rupavachara Brahma worlds, and 4 Arupavachara Brahma worlds. This is what we understand about Buddhist cosmology, right? All right, so these are the wishes of lay people. Has anybody as a lay person not yet found out these wishes in your life? Or you have a different bunch of wishes? Or are these 4 wishes very aligned with your wishes too? Mostly, they should be. And then the Buddha talks about something very interesting. He says, in order for someone to achieve these 4 wishes, one has to accomplish in 4 things. Right? Because these wishes are hard, agreeable, desired, everybody desires, very rare to obtain. Therefore, they don't happen randomly. They don't happen without fulfilling certain things, spiritual qualities. The Buddha says that we all need to accomplish in 4 qualities. What are they? Faith. What is faith? Saddha. Let's go by Pali terminology and then find out whether we can find a good translation. Right? We call it Saddha. Saddha means trust, confidence, unwavering trust about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Right? This is fundamentally what we understand. At the same time, trust has other levels. Trust between your life people, right? When we are losing trust, we are bringing up a lot of insecurities and our life is in a mess, right? So there are 2 levels of saddha. One is what you call trust about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and trust about us and other people around us. What is better? Is it very important to create trust among the people that we are always with, or we don't have to create trust? What is easier? Is it easier to live with insecurities, or is it easier to live with some securities and more insecurities? What is easy? What is uneasy? To create securities. Today, we are discussing something about that in a different way. So, in our life, it is better to be surrounded by people in whom we can place trust in. That is better. We don't have to struggle in our life, right? If we have a bunch of insecurities, very difficult to live. Because when we have insecurities, on the other side, on the other hand, we are creating very much akusalas. Every time we doubt, we overthink, we overreact, and finally akusala states are coming up, right? So there are 4 accomplishments. One is saddha. The Buddha said there are 2 types of saddha: amulika saddha, akaravati saddha. Can you remember, right? What are the 2 types of saddha? Amulika saddha and akaravati saddha. I think you all are aware about these 2, huh? All right. So there are 2 types of saddha which the Buddha talks about. This one is baseless saddha. Baseless. And this one is foundational. Foundational saddha. A lot of suttas, chunky sutta. You can find out Vimansaka Sutta. There are many suttas which talk about different layers of saddha. So, amulika saddha means that there are people who are going to trust others without a base. You could also say blind trust. Where do you normally get into this level? When you are in love with somebody, you are tapping into the blind trust at a certain point. It is happening naturally. It can. But if you are doing this with the right person, it should be okay. But oftentimes, this could be the wrong person. But here, it can spread around something more than the relationships. It is about our belief, different types of beliefs. Say, for instance, there is someone who is easily believing, others, doesn't take time to believe other people, right? The Buddha said to King Kosala, Sangvasena ko bhikkave silang veditappang. If you want to know someone's sila, discipline, you cannot just decide from the outside nature. Right? There are a lot of people who are seemingly very disciplined from outside, but we cannot understand their life. You know who they are, right? In your life, you might have trusted people earlier, then it might have turned on to different things. So sila, if you want to know someone's sila, you have to know that person for some time. Then wisdom, sakachaya bhikkave panya veditappa. You have to discuss Dhamma with somebody to know how wise that person is. There are things like that. So, baseless saddha is not recommended. Akaravati saddha is what the Buddha recommends. Akaravati saddha means you are rationalizing. You are rationalize, and then you are trying to understand. As a consequence of, as a matter of studying that particular thing for long term, thereby you are coming to Akaravati Saddha. When you are coming to Akaravati Saddha, as a spiritual thing, it will come to Aveccha Pasada. Aveccha Pasada. This means unwavering Saddha. Who will get this saddha? Who will get this saddha? Aveccha pasada. Sotapannas. Buddhe avecchappasad, Dhamme avecchappasad, Sanghe avecchappasad. Sotapannas have an unwavering trust about the Buddha, unwavering trust about the Dhamma, unwavering trust about the Sangha. How about our normal people? Especially, I think we don't have any problem with the Buddha, right? Nobody has any problem with the Buddha because they are still exploring things about the Buddha. There is a huge happiness. And what about the Dhamma? It is also the same, right? Most of the people, they have unwavering trust. How about the Sangha? This could be a different thing. Because some people, they might not have avecchappasada. Sometimes there are people who are trusting somebody. If that person is changing, the whole Sangha will be criticized in a moment of time. Sangha is not that particular person, right? Sangha means, what do you call? 4 pairs and 8 persons. Who are the Sangha? Sotapanna, path and fruit. Magga pala. Magga and pala. Then Sakadagami, path and fruit. Fruit is not something in the orchard. Huh? Fruit means pala, the attainment. Then Anagami, path and fruit. Then Arahant path or Arahant path, fruit. So anybody who is on the path or the fruit, on the path, on the fruit, all these are considered as Sangha, right? So we must have these 8 people as the reference to the Sangha, not an unenlightened person, but we have huge respect for them too. So that is Saddha. So then there are 4 accomplishments: Saddha, then Sila, then Chaga, Panya. So in order for you to fulfill your 4 wishes, may wealth arise in me righteously, may good reputation come to me and to my other people, may I live longer, may I be reborn in a better place, they are all contingent to the accomplishment of these 4. The more you are doing well in these 4, the better you are coming through those 4 wishes. We discuss all that. Huh? And then today, and last week, we discussed about Pattakammas. Then the third discussion is Pattakama. Actually, that is the main topic about the sutta. What is Pattakama? Pattakama means when you have wealth, when you have earned wealth, which includes money and all that, you are supposed to sectionalize, set aside those wealth into 4 groups. Okay? The Buddha said that sectionalization is Pattakama. First Pattakama, first sectionalization. Second, third, fourth. And we discussed the first set last Monday. So who was the target group? Who was the first group that as a layperson you have to think about in terms of your wealth, money and all that? Us, self-care is number 1. How did we understand that? Self-care, what does self-care mean? Well-being, huh? Well-being. Our well-being. How do we develop our well-being? Is well-being very important? How important is that? It is important to an extent to take you to the Buddhist Maha Vihara today. To learn the Dhamma, because self-care is important. Right? I can't stay home tonight, but I have to go to the Vihara by driving some distance, probably sometimes half an hour, maybe more than that, right? Some of you are coming far away. Because self-care, learning some important Dhamma things is much beneficial for me than just watching a drama, watching a movie. Right? It's wasting time. Right? You can watch that, but this is more important because you are learning something. And then the second group in that first section was mother, father. Third group, family, basic family. Who are they? Husband, wife, and then children, people who are working in your household, everybody. Then, who is the other group? Friends and colleagues. Friends and colleagues. Friends and colleagues. And then you are supposed to make them happy, and thereby they should be able to feel happy about your activity. I think we discussed that. We are always trying to make other people happy, but don't become people pleasers. But not other people are going to be happy in the same way. Right? So they have to feel happy as well. As you can see here, the Pali words are sukheti and pineti. Sukheti means making someone happy. Pineti means feel happy. So you are making that happen as well, right? You are bringing them to that happiness. Sukheti pineti. Samma sukham pariharati. And then thereby you are making them, or you are making them taking care of them. You are going to take care of them in that proper way. Samma sukham. Right? And eventually what is happening is that you are creating the Pattakama, the first section, the first Pattakama. Today we are going to discuss about the second Pattakama. Okay, what is the second set? We will see. Okay, now the money has been earned by energetic striving, by a lot of efforts, right? And also righteously. And now you are going to set aside some portion of that money for some apada. This word, apada. What does apada means? Apada means losses. Okay, emergencies, losses. What kind of losses? Aggitova, right? These are the losses. Aggitova, then Udakatova, then Rajatova, then Choratova, and Appiyatova Dayadato. There are 5 emergencies, 5 losses. Appiyatova Dayadato. Let's translate. Aggitova, fire. Udakatova, water. Rajatova, government. Government is a loss, Discuss about it. Choratova, thieves, Then appiyatova dayadatova. Displeasing heirs. Huh? It's about your will, last will. You have to make sure that you make it with right terms and conditions. We'll see how. Now, these are the problems. Okay, so tatha rupasu apadasu pariyodhaya. In order to overcome these losses that might be upcoming when we are not properly taking care of us for the future, one has to use wealth as the second section in this wealth management. Huh? Now, what does this say? Does the Buddha say that you have to accept upcoming losses into your wealth without preparing, without buying insurances? Huh? People are doing a lot of things for this without doing some wealth management, right? Did the Buddha say just accept everything as it is? No, he said these are possible. These can happen to us. Therefore, you need to prepare yourself, right? So for those people who might say, no, these are anicca, we have to accept. That is not what the Buddha said to the lay people. That is the monks' version for them. But for the lay people, they have to plan ahead, right? Let's talk about Pali word, apada. Apada. Pada means patati. Pali word, patati. What is patati? In Pali, what do you call patati? Verb. Patati means fall. Fall. Panatipata veramani. It's a good word to understand. Panatipata. Panatipata. How do we describe this Pali? This is the first precept. I think you all are taking that. I think you should be able to answer me that. Every time at the beginning of any ceremony, they are giving, monks are giving, you are taking. What does this panatipata mean? Don't tell me the contextual meaning. Huh? I refrain from killing. We have to find out what does this Pali word say exactly. Pana means life of a sentient being. Huh? Sentient being. Then ati. Ati. Ati is a prefix in Pali. Prefix. There are prefixes, suffixes. Prefixes are coming at the beginning, suffixes are ending. This is ati. Ati means ati. Ati means over. Over, exceeding. But here ati has a meaning that you are causing. Causing. And pata. Pata, it also comes from here. This one. Same verb root. Pata means to fall. Now how do we take the meaning? Causing someone's life to fall is panatipata. You are causing someone's life to fall from its vitality. Vitality is the life, right? Causing someone's, even a life of an ant, causing someone's life to fall from her vitality. That is panatipata. Do you find the same meaning in not killing? How does it happen? How do we marginalize that? How do we know exactly how it is happening? That's why. So we have to know some Pali, otherwise we don't know what the Buddha meant. So here, apada, patati, fall. Now this is a, what do you call, apada, that means fallen, past participle, fallen, here. Means boundary. Means boundary in Pa. It's a prefix. Any other Pali word which start from A? Not Huh? What's that? Ananda. Ananda is a name. Very interesting. The Pali name Ananda. Nanda means joy. Ananda means that joy is, that joy has a certain end. Ananda. Someone who is joyful to a certain identified extent is Ananda. Then what about Upananda? Another term. Upananda. Also Nanda means happiness or joy. Upa means neighborhood. Someone who is in the neighborhood of happiness or joy. Right? And then you see some other names, Nanda, that is joy. So every Pali word has a specific meaning, which comes from Sanskrit influence. So anyways, now Apada means someone's life has come to a certain boundary. That means cannot move on. Why? These problems have come down to them. These issues. Agito. Agito means fire. Do people struggle with fire issues? Yes. Huh? What are the issues that come to your wealth with fire? House? House fire, right? House fire. So, what could you do for house fire? Now the wealth has to be utilized for this. What can you do? Yeah, that's a good idea. Buying an insurance. Fire insurance, yes. Why not? A lot of people don't have it. They don't want to spend money on this. Right? They don't like to spend money. There is no fire in my house. But when the fire comes, then they are worried about it. And then there are fire alarms. Right? Fire alarm. Right? So, the Buddha asks lay people to watch for this loss. And they have to do things with that money, with that wealth. In today's world, it could be buying an insurance for house fire, maybe setting fire alarm, and then making sure that you are properly utilizing fire in the house. If you are someone who is using a candle, you are going to use an electric candle. Right? You are trying to minimize the issue, minimize the hazard. Right? Not that I don't like the electric candle, I want to see the real light candle. There are people like that, huh? There's a saying that when people found out the matchbox, some people didn't like it. They said, that friction, how we made the fire by having the friction with two firewood, it is not in the matchbox. Let's go back. Right? So we are understanding how to practice our life according to today's safety. Right? That is being very wise. So Agito means you are making sure your house is not under the hazard of fire. Right? But still your house is okay. Maybe someone in another household is making an unwise act so that your house is affected as well. Then you are looking for a good neighborhood, huh? Where there are wise people. Huh? Can you find wise people? Neighborhoods, buying houses where there are wise people. That is something. So Agito, fire. And there are a lot of teachings about fire in Buddhist teachings. Huh? All right. Then the second hazard, loss, could be udakato, water. Does water affect your wealth? How? Flood. So if your house is in a floodplain, if your house is somewhere nearby a river, nearby ocean, maybe where there are potential tsunamis are going to come, then you are going to making sure I need to be a good Buddhist by understanding what the Buddha said. Because time to time river wants to overflow. Periodically ocean wants to go over the boundaries. That is the nature of ocean. We don't have to blame the ocean. We call it tsunami, then flooding. Right? Time to time, those natural resources want to become so. It is a nature. So by understanding that thing, we are going to make sure that you are not in the hazard of water. What are the things you can do? Planning well for your house, place. At the same time, what else? What are the other problems with water? You probably go to a place to swim. That is a risky water. You never take the risk in that water, right? It is also because let's say there is a good person who is not caring about that particular risky water and going to swim in that water, going to die, drown. So that wealth, everything, whole human life will be ended at that point. That means you have to make sure that water is something that will cost not even your wealth, but also your life. And not even your life. If somebody in your life, in your family is going to die, you are going to intervene that you might also die. One person's unwise decision will be the end of everybody's life. So it's a lot of stuff in there. Water. And then Rajato. Rajato. Raja means king. Rajato. Then we take it as government. Now we don't have these kings in everywhere in the world. Monarchy system. So governments. Why did the Buddha include government in this wealth as a wealth issue? As a mood of what kind of tax? Taxing, paying tax is a responsibility of everybody, isn't it? Because Buddha talks about in another section, not here. He talks about what you call balis. Bali. Bali means sacrifices. In the same sutta, in this same sutta somewhere, in another section. They even say Bali come from Bali. Yeah, in Indonesia. I say, yeah, Bali come from Hindu word. A lot of Hindu people there, right? So, one of the Bali is, what is it? Raja Bali. Raja Bali. Raja Bali means income tax. Income tax or tax. But what is this meant? What is meant by here? This means unruly, unfair taxes. Right? Because at that time kings were not, most of the kings were not really ruling in the proper way. They were imposing unreasonable tax on people. Right? So not even the king. Maybe other issues that can come from government to maybe new rules, right? Sometimes there were some kings who imposed new, who lay down new rules overnight. From tomorrow morning, you can't do that. Does it happen in today's world? Not that easy. The House of Parliament has to endorse with a majority of votes. But at that time, no, overnight, the king said, by tomorrow morning, everything has to be like this. So the people have to get ready for all that. Their wealth should not be, given to be misused by these people. Even the unfair governments, right? So Rajato means that, but paying tax is a responsibility. We are not supposed to evade tax, but hopefully we are in a good country. Wherever we are, we pay income tax in the proper way. Right? Not, there are people who are trying to misuse that money. Rajato. If you could remember, there were many stories with regard to King Kosala. King Kosala stop his vehicle by Jetavanarama temple, and the Buddha asked, where are you going? He's always saying, Bhante, there are people who passed away without writing a will. So I'm going to bring all that money to the palace now, he's saying, right? So that means if people who have lots of money, who have something, they have to make a will. We are talking at here, right? Otherwise, these people going and bringing all that. There are no owners for that property, right? Right? So here I would say then, if you have some properties, things, then better to make a will. Not just waiting until you get very sick, right? Otherwise, governments will, take that, and things are happen. I mean, if you don't like, if you like, it's okay. If you don't like, it's a problem. Then chorato. Chorato means? Chorato? Huh? Thieves. Thieves. Chora. In Japanese, they call choro means monk. Chandima Choro. I said, hey, don't call me like that. I said, thief. But they say, choro. Yes. Maybe they call it as Thera. Thera. There's someone who has spent 10 vassa. Thera. Thera has become choro. Mahachoro means a good monk. All right. So chorato. So there are lot of issues with regard to the thieves. In today's world, thieves have become very smart, super smart. Can you think about the range of different thieves in today's world? You don't see those looters in today's world that much. There are people who are breaking houses, right? They break in banks, like a daylight robbery. But nowadays, this has become very, modern. So how to protect our wealth from the thieves? The Buddha said we have to do it. Then, how do we do it? Any thoughts? What are the personal measures that you have taken already in order to... burglary insurance. Yeah, there you go, burglary insurance. Insurance is everything. Insurance, yes. Pay a high premium, you get rewarded. Right? But the thing is, when you are buying an insurance, we don't read those tiny small letters. Make sure that you read all them. Right? They were written in very, very small letters. Right? The super smart industry. Anyways, insurance, burglary, insurance. But other things, how to protect? Not show off the wealth. Then better not show off, not showing off. Not showing off means a good Dhamma quality. We don't have to show off, right? We don't have to brag. When we brag, other people know who we are. If you brag about your money, we are spotlighted at that point. Yes? Someone said? CCTV, okay. CCTV, insurance, alarm system. Security guards. What else? Now, what are the modern things that we see that people are using in terms of protecting their wealth from the thieves? Money in the bank, not keeping in the house. When the bank system came into some countries, there were people who thought, why do we have to give money to the banks? Right? It is our money. Right? What about protecting our sentimental things in the household? We going to are safe in banks too, because we don't want to keep them in the house. If the house is in fire, right? So we are not going to protect them. And what else? How are you going to protect? What about the smart thieves? Now there are smart kind of thieves, not those hard-working thieves. Cyber. Cyber thieves. We have scammers. What are they doing? They are calling everybody. They are calling everybody. What are they talking to them? They are trying to sometimes intimidate us. You have done a wrong thing. You have done a punishable act. We are from this group, that group, and then they are going to intimidate you, and then maybe trying to focus on elderly people, senior people, right? So we have to protect us from scammers. Who else? Phishing. And then credit card thieves. It's a big source of, that's why we lose our credit card every month sometime. Somebody buys something from the credit card is compensated. We have to wait for another credit card. Somebody's problem, credit card thieves. So how to protect? Now we have to talk about wealth from the modern perspective. We don't carry paper bills, coins anymore. Let's be honest. So how to protect our credit cards from the thieves? Tell me. I'm not teaching you how to do your financial management. I'm trying to look at the Buddhist version. The Buddha talks about is chorato. We are not going to buy things from unwarranted websites. That's a good one. We are checking whether they have HTTPS. Isn't it? That's a normal thing, everybody. It's not rocket science. Normal thing. And then we are trying to use a digital wallet, right? Not our credit card. The credit card is mounted on the mobile wallet. What do you have here? Touch and go. Yes, there are digital wallets in many countries. Because our credit card is not directly being used, credit card is mounted on the mobile wallet. If the credit card is directly being used, then there are issues that can go to the hand of us. So we have to understand how to protect our digital money. Now money has become digital, right? It's become a problem. Offering Navakama to a monk, now money has become digital. How to offer, right? So we have to understand how we are going to make sure things are happening in the proper way. And someone might say, no, it's a plastic card, credit card, plastic card. It has no money. Money is implied in that, right? Anyways, so there are attacks from the thieves to money, sentimental stuff, credit cards. What else? What are the other attacks that can come to us from the thieves? Identity theft. That's a big issue, right? It's a big issue. So we have to protect. What does it mean indirectly? We have to understand what's happening in the society. Thereby we are going to make sure we are safe. That is important because Buddha said our wealth in the second sectionalization must be protected from these thieves is one very interesting part. Now, protecting us from the thieves is a Dhamma activity. It's not a financial activity alone. You might think maybe my misunderstanding about making money, maybe handling money. It's not about that too. It's a Buddhist, it's your Dhamma practice activity. If you are not doing that, you are into big issues. Finally, we will discuss them separately with some questions later. Appiyato va dayadato. Appiyato means appiyato. Has anyone come across this Pali word in your readings of the text? Appiyatu. Janatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, vyadipi dukkho, maranampi dukkhang, appiyehi sampayogo dukkho. Buddha specifies a certain dukkha we are having when we are with the people we don't like. Do you have that feeling? When you are with the people who you don't like, you have a certain dukkha. Right? Sometimes we are stationed to be with the people whom we don't like. Sometimes we have to work with them, isn't it? So, it is a dukkha. But when you understand that dukkha, you can work with anybody. It is a change in our attitude. But anyways, appiyato means those whom we don't like. Let's say displeasing. Dayadato. What does this mean? The Buddha says, let's say you are bedridden now. You have a chronic issue, right? And you have some money, some wealth. So now you see that after you pass away, your money and wealth will go to someone whom you don't like, right? So Buddha says it is also a loss because you never expected that. That means you can write a will, right? You can write a will in the proper way. Because when the money and wealth go to the displeasing heirs whom you don't like, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, that is a loss in your wealth. Don't let your money be possessed by the people whom are not really deserved by your wealth. That means you have to pass away one day by making sure this is properly done. That means if you haven't done that, your life will be, Buddha uses a word. Let me show you that word at the end. At the end of the sutta, yeah, you can see here, Yassa kassachi gahapati anyatra imehi chatuhi pattakammi. Now there are two more to discuss, but boga parikriyang gacchanti. If there is someone here, if there is someone whose wealth is not going to be utilized under these four pattakammas. Ime uchanti gahapati boga atthanagata. They have not gone to the right place. Apattagata. They have not been achieved by the right people. Anayatana so paributta. They are blameworthy. They are by the person who is passing away going to be blameworthy, not blame-free. Who would like to be blameworthy? When someone passes away, look at how he or she made use of the money. It's a mess. Everything is a mess. So we have to make sure that we have properly allocated our wealth at this level for these losses. So all in all, what we can say is that prepare for your losses. Not that embracing the loss, there might be certain opportunities where you have to, but prepare your wealth to overcome from these, get rid of these losses: fire, water, government, thieves, and displeasing heirs. So that is the second pattakam. If you are making sure you do the necessary things to protect your wealth from these five, then you have done the second pattakam. All right, any questions?
Bhante,
Yeah.
So here the Buddha is asking us to secure the money,
Wealth.
secure the wealth for possible losses. It's not allocate the money for maybe this thing can happen.
Allocation happens in the first pattakama, third pattakama, fourth pattakama. Now at this point, at the second pattakama level, you have to protect to allocate. If you don't protect, how to allocate? Isn't it?
So
if you don't protect your wealth, how to allocate, how to set aside certain wealth for different things? The list of allocations are coming in the third and fourth.
Okay.
And you are so curious about who are these audiences. Just hang on.
Thank you.
It's a game of patience. So a good Buddhist, someone who follows the Buddha's teachings, need to protect wealth from possible losses. That means an understanding about how to handle money, how to handle wealth. They are necessary skills in Buddhist teachings. And there were times where Buddha even called money as snake. But that is in a different context. Right? It's a different context. Sometimes he used that narrative to save some innocent people. One day there was a wallet, someone's wallet was dropped on the way, and the Buddha was going with Bhante Ananda, and he told Bhante Ananda, there was a very innocent civilian also walking here and there at that time. Bhante Ananda, did you see the snake? So Bhante Ananda was like looking around and he saw the wallet. Someone's wallet was dropped. Yeah, I saw the snake. The man overheard this actually, who was walking around. In a moment of time, the law enforcement came in and they arrested that man. And then the king decided he must be given the capital punishment. But what did the Buddha do was to help that man. So he was saying, Ananda, did you see the snake? Yes, Bhante, I saw the snake. So he was repeating the story. Bhante Ananda, did you see the snake? Yes, Bhante, I saw the snake. So then king asked him, what is the true story here? And then he said, the Buddha said like this, and he was saved. So money is not evil. Those people who don't know how to handle money will call it evil. It is our duty to make it evil or wholesome. So we have to understand how to properly use. If people don't understand these teachings, definitely they might be messed up in the wealth management. This is wealth management. At the same time, we have to be careful because the English word protection plans, insurance plans, we don't have to buy and follow all these protection plans. We have to truly understand what's going on and then to carefully decide whether to buy or not. Otherwise, just because there is a protection plan, we don't have to buy. But if we understand that there is an issue, then we must go for that thing. I think a medical insurance, I think that's a big issue in many countries in the world, not in the Western countries. Even in Western countries, it's a big issue. So that means you are not medically protected. Is there any connection to that? Yes, fire, water. Let's say you are drowned in the water, right? You need medical treatments, right? It costs a lot. So you must have so they all have relations to the connections to the proper insurances. I think medical insurance is a very big thing in today's world.
Yesterday or last week we were talking about Cakkavattī Siyanath Sutta, and yesterday we talked about Kūtadanta Sutta, and I told the audience that but the wealth is very important, it's because suppose that if you don't have the wealth, then you cannot practice meditation and things like that. So, because I mean, if you think about the Western world, most of the people who practice meditation go to retreats are middle class or upper class people, majority, because they can afford it, because they have time, But even in Colombo, in Sri Lanka, for example, the middle class people are the ones who at least more pious. They go on the pilgrimage, go on Kataragama, go on Radhapura and so on. So even though we tend to discourage people having accumulation of merit, but I think Buddhism what try to do, we should not be attached to the wealth. But we should manage the wealth, we should use the wealth in righteous way, but we should not be attached. Am I right? Because it comes something similar here, very clearly. Because I did not relate it yesterday, but when you look at Diya here, Boge, Hibo, Balavichara, they connect with the somehow Chakravarti Sutta and Kutadanta Sutta. I mean, that's observation I noticed.
Yeah, exactly. On the other hand, there is a misconception that Buddha is anti-money. Buddhism is anti-money. There can't be Buddhist business people, right? So, because what you call simplicity, minimalism, the concept like minimalism, simplicity, have been misunderstood, right? I think that's a very good thing to discuss. In Buddhism, what the Buddha says is what you call sallahuka buddhi, right? A light life. Now, this light life doesn't mean that you are having it physically 100%. That means because if you look at the society, not everybody can come to a certain financial level. So people are differently affordable in finances. So we cannot say that everybody should earn to this level, that level. So if you can afford something, right? If you can acquire a certain work, ethical work, you may earn money. There is no limit for that. But what we have to understand is we are not going to be greedy for the money. Now, we have attachments to family, right? You all attach to your mother, father, and family people, but don't bring greed. This is the problem. So is the money. Now, if you look at the Kudadanta Sutta, it's a very interesting sutta. Buddha says, Dalidyam bhikkhave dukkham. Poverty is a dukkha, right? It doesn't mean that people who are poor cannot practice Buddhism. Finally, it is the mind. It is the ability of creating good thoughts, wholesome thoughts. But the Buddha says in the Kudadanta Sutta, when a country has a lot of poor people, that country will have a lot of crimes. That's interesting. So the government should be able to, minimize crimes. So they may have to distribute money in the proper way. Not to create a very high-end, high-income level and a poor people. Now in most countries, there are two groups, the elite group and the poor group. There is no middle class. In some countries, there is a middle class. What they have to do is they have to pay the old tax. The high-income people, they evade. Poor people getting a lot of money because of their tax, right? So this is a big issue. So I think governments have to balance out, as the Buddha says in the Kudadanta. So the idea here is that money, wealth is not evil. It is a blessing. Definitely, it's a blessing. But that wealth has to be earned righteously. The wealth has to be distributed at 4 PATTAKAMMA levels. Now this is the second PATTAKAMMA. Yeah. Now if the Buddha did not get the wealthy support, how could he stay in a temple like Jetanarama? Right? It is said that Anathapindika spent 54 crores of money to spend that. 18 crore to buy the land. 18 crore to build the buildings, 18 crore for the infrastructure, 54 crores, right? That means Buddha had the blessing of having the wealthy supporters, right? Otherwise, there is no temple for people to come and, yes, Maha Vihara. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's about wealth, but today we are mostly focusing on how to evade, how to protect us from these issues. So you have to plan for the future. What to do with the fire, what to do with the water, what to do with unnecessary rules, taxing, right? How to do with the thieves, and how to protect your wealth that is going after you. Now, pariyodaya. Now, when you are protecting you from these losses, you are pariyodaya. Pariyodaya means you are protecting, you are cleaning yourself, right? You are protecting your wealth in the proper way.
Bhante, my question is not regarding this today's topic, but is a bit
Off the topic.
On just now what Bhante talked about the 4 pairs and the 8 persons. Yes, and the path and the fruit, the Sotapan, Sagadagami and Anagami and the Arahant. So the Buddha says that they are the Sangha. So then what about the renunciate, like monks, nuns, samaneri, and then they renounce and they are learning, they are practicing, but they haven't reached the path. So, but we also consider them as Sangha, So here I'm a bit confused, but only Buddha said only these 4 pairs, they are the Sangha.
Short answer is no. Long answer is it needs a detailed answer. The short answer is no. Long answer is I need to do a detailed answer to this. So I'm going to write it. Just wait. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Just keep it on the side. Sangha. Right? The Buddha said there are 4 types of Sangha. Who are they? Tell me. Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. There are 4 Sangha groups. How come lay people can become Sangha? Let me question you. Now Upasaka is a layman, Upasika is a lay woman. How come they can become Sangha? This classification of Sangha, this is the main classification of Sangha, this is based on Sotapanna level. That means there may be a lay person, a layman who became a Sotapan. There may be a lay woman who has become a Sotapan. So they are part of Sangha. According to this list, even a monk can become a Sotapan. All the monks who have become Sotapan. Bhikkhunis who have become Sotapan. They are the main classification of the Sangha. But if you look at the Supatipanno statement, you can see a broader classification about the Sangha. There you can see Sotapanna path, Sotapanna fruit, path fruit, all these. So we have to forget about these one. These are higher statesmen, higher attainments. Let's talk about these 2. So let's say there is a bhikkhu who is on the path to become a Sotapan. So that bhikkhu, an unenlightened person, can still be regarded as a bhikkhu. So we have 2 pre-Sotapanna levels. Right? On the way to, when someone is following the path, he or she is on the way to become a Sotapan. We call them pre-Sotapanna levels. In Pali we call Chula Sotapanna. Chula. Who are they? Who are they? Huh? Who are these two? There are two pre-Sotapanna. Because two pre-Sotapannas. Better to say that way. Who are they? Now, Sotapanna we know. Before becoming a Sotapanna, there are some individuals who are becoming as two pre-Sotapanna levels. If you don't know, you have to go downstairs in the lift and see what is given in the lift. The elevators at the Maha Vihara. I always mention that. What were written in these elevators? Huh? Saddhanusari. Then, other one? Which lift? I don't know where you took today to come here. That's the problem, you know. You must have taken one of them, you know. Saddhanusari is one lift, probably the corner one. The other one, Dhammanusari. I hope that you are mindful today when you take the lift. See, Dhammanusari. That means Saddha follower, Dhamma follower. So there are people who have more Saddha in their practice, thereby that person can minimize, overcome Sakkaya Ditti, Silabbata Paramasa, Vicikicca. There are some people who have more Dhamma knowledge, who has a wide reading at the same time who is rationalizing, intellectualizing, thereby he or she is going to become a Sotapanna. So these are two Sotapannas. You might be in one of them. And then after that, that means the Sotapanna path has these two Sotapannas, pre-Sotapannas, Chula Sotapannas. So the answer to the question is that the monks, nuns you see in the viharas, if they are already Sotapannas, definitely they are Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni. If they are not, they are still regarded as a part of Sangha because of Sotapanna path. They are on the path. Their purpose is to become a Sotapanna. Now if you see Vishaka was a Sotapanna Upasika. And then Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, Sotapanna Upasaka Upasika. Now the problem is how to spend a lay life with a marriage by becoming Sotapannas. Now the Vishaka's story is a little bit very interesting. And Vishaka became a Sotapanna when she was 7 years old. And she dated a man while being a Sotapanna. And she married that man while becoming a Sotapanna. And she made children while being a Sotapanna. And she got all the grandchildren by being a Sotapanna. And there are people who are trying to become a monk, becoming monks and nuns just to become Sotapannas. That's something very interesting. So how to fall in love with somebody by becoming a Sotapanna? Interesting, right? How to date someone with Sotapanna mindset? Tell me. That's interesting. I think we have to talk about it as the last, just to finish this conversation. Sakkaya Ditti. Some people might call ego, personality view, then personality construct. Lot of English translation based on psychology. Sigmund Freud's understanding about how mind works. But Buddha clearly says what is Sakkaya Ditti. Where he says in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, we studied that last year. No, that is Samma Ditti. This is Sakkaya Ditti. There are different dittis. Sakkaya Ditti means Sankittena Panchupadanakkhandha dukkha. That means clinging to the 5 aggregates. Pretty easy. 5 aggregates, we all have 5 aggregates. We have a rupa, we have a body, we have feelings, then we have mental notes about past, and we make notes now for the future, perceptions in other words. Then we have sankhara. What is sankhara? Huh? 6 sense base. Sankhara? What is mental formation? Very big words, huh? How do we understand this? What is sankhara? Good karma, bad karma. 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 Then sankhara, then vijnana, consciousness. Now we all have those 5. Huh? Now the problem here is that how we are creating this is we are going to bring upadana to the 5 aggregates. Now, in the Vishaka's case, Vishaka has become a Sotapanna, but she is having her lay life without bringing clinging to the 5 aggregates. That means a relationship is still possible without clinging. How do we know that there is clinging in a relationship? When you are controlled, when you are manipulated, when you are forced, right? There, someone is having upadana. Even you may have upadana. That's why, as a layperson, you can have sakkaya ditthi if you become a sotapanna and spend a very good life. When you become sotapanna, your life will be minimalized to 7 maximum, right? 1 to 7 maximum. 1 is the minimum, 7 is the maximum. So that's why when she was having all that with the person, she didn't have clinging. She knew that I am with him, but I don't have clinging to the 5 aggregates. All right. Any other questions for today? Agga sangpatti me vacha ato nibbana sangpatti iminati saminchatu sadhu sadhu sadhu. Wishing you a good night, safe trip back home.